Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the, December 22nd meeting of the Huntsville Planning Commission. I am Gary Whitley, and I will chair this meeting in the absence of our chair, Janet Watson. We will start with introductions of the membership. I will start to my right on the end.
TJ Mears.
Carlos Matthews.
Jenny Robinson.
LaFrida Jordan.
Kelly Scrimshire.
Jeffrey Rice.
Michelle Jordan Planning.
Thank you. Tonight on our agenda, we will call for the adoption of the minutes from our previous meeting. Members, you've had an opportunity to review the minutes from the November 24th meeting. What is your pleasure?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of adoption of the minutes?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, and it carries. We will start with the public hearings listed tonight on our agenda. If you are here to speak for the public hearings, if you will, when the time calls for public input, you'll step to the microphone and give your name and address for the record, and we'll call for your comments. If your comments are similar to those that have preceded you, please do not be repetitive in your remarks. We will start with item number 1, ASHTON Springs Phase 2, re-subdivision of a portion of Tract 1, ANSLEE subdivision. Mr. Nunes will give us the presentation.
ASHTON Springs Phase 2 is zoned a PUD, which was approved in 2008. This PUD consists of 4 lot designs. They include a cottage lot, which is approximately 38 feet wide, an additional cottage lot, which is also 32 feet wide, courtyard lots of 44 feet wide, and carriage homes of approximately 59 feet wide. This approval is before you for potential relayout of 51.86 acres for 253 lots. The original Phase 1 was final platted in November of 2008, and Phase 1B was final platted in February of 2009. This additional relayout will help to continue development for the PUD in the future.
Thank you. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak on item number 1? Seeing none, the public hearing is now closed. Item number 2, Nature's Landing at the Reserve, Phase 1A, re-subdivision of lots 225 through 227 and 260 through 265, Nature's Landing at the Reserve, Phase 1.
Nature's Landing at the Reserve, Phase 1A will consist of our R2 zoning of 1.9 acres. This property was final platted in April of 2013. It is located north of Martin Road and west of Zert Road. Initially, this property was consisted of 8 lots, approximately 51 feet wide. The new development request of 7 lots to reduce from the original 8 to 7 lots. There was 1 lot increased from 51 feet to 52 feet, and the additional 6 lots were increased from 51 feet to 58 feet wide.
Thank you. Is there anyone here from the public to speak on item number 2? Seeing none, the public hearing is now closed. Item number 3, Oak Grove Phase 3 at Farley Farm, re-subdivision of Lot 1 of Farley Farm. Mr. Nunes?
Oak Grove at Farley Farms Phase 3 is located west of South Memorial Parkway and north of Green Cove Road. This property is zoned R2B and is approximately 33.38 acres. This property was before you for relayout and re-preliminary in July of 2015 for 32 lots. The preliminary before you now consists of 30 lots. There was a reduction of 2 lots on 2 of the cul-de-sac streets.
Thank you. Is there anyone here from the public to speak on item number 3? Seeing none, the public hearing is now closed. Item number 4, TONEY Commercial Subdivision, a minor.
TONEY Commercial Subdivision is located in the Northwest City, south of U.S. Highway 72 West and west of Promenade Point Parkway. This property is zoned C4 and is approximately 3.35 acres. Lot 2 will consist of a 1.7 acre lot, and Lot 1 will consist of a 1.65 acre lot.
Thank you. Is there anyone here from the public wishing to speak on item number 4, Tony Commercial? Seeing none, the public hearing is now closed. We now have a public hearing on zoning. Item number A, under zoning, Meadows 2 zoning. Ms. Nichols?
This property is newly annexed property. It's approximately 14.39 acres. It's located east of US Highway 431 South and on the west side of Goose Ridge Road. This property will be an additional phase of the Meadows at Hampton Cove subdivision. And planning staff would like to recommend that this property be zoned Residence 1A district, which is consistent with the adjacent zoning designations of this particular subdivision.
Thank you. Is there anyone here to speak on item number 5, Meadows 2 zoning? Seeing none, the public hearing is now closed. Thank you, Ms. Nichols. We will now have the subdivision committee report. Mr. Matthews, if you will give us the report of the subdivision committee.
ASHTON Springs Phase 2 of portion of Tract 1, ANSLEE subdivision. The committee recommends relayout approval on 253 lots.
Thank you. Commission, what is your pleasure on item number 1?
Move to approve.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The item passes. Thank you.
Nature's Landing at the Reserve Phase 1A of lots 225 to 227 and 260 to 265. Nature's Landing at the Reserve Phase 1. The committee recommends layout of preliminary approval on 7 lots.
Thank you.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The item carries.
Oak Grove Phase 3.
Mr. Matthews, this is for final approval.
Also presented for a final approval of 7 lots.
Ms. Jordan, is this in order for final approval?
Yes, it's in order.
Commission, what is your pleasure?
Second.
All those in favor for present this final on 7 lots?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Item passes.
Oak Grove Phase 3 at Farley Farm of Lot 1 of Farley Farm. The committee recommends preliminary approval on 30 lots.
Commission, what is your pleasure? Any discussion?
I do have a question. All these projects over there at Farley Farm and Oak Grove have had drainage issues, and I just want to, again, ask for the record, the drainage issues have been dealt with, and we don't anticipate that there will be any problems with roads caving in or anything else. All right. Thank you.
That would be correct based off the engineering from Smith Engineering.
Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The item passes.
Tony Commercial Subdivision Minor. The committee recommends layout approval on 2 lots. Also presented for final approval on 2 lots.
Okay, let us take the layout approval on the 2 lots first.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Layout approval is approved. This is also presented for final. Is it in order?
Yes, it's in order.
Okay, all those in favor for final approval?
Do you need a motion on that?
Yes.
Move to approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, presented for final approval, approved.
Walden Run at Providence Phase 2 Apartments. The committee recommends preliminary approval on 130 units.
Okay.
Second.
Any discussion? Thomas, will you show us the layout of this Walden Run, please?
Absolutely. Walden Run was included in, excuse me as I zoom to the property. Walden Run is located in Northwest City, north of U.S. Highway 72 west and east of Providence Main Street. This property was boundary platted in September of 2003 for approximately 356 units. The property, as I may have said, is zoned R2B. Since 2003, they were built out of 9 buildings, which equated for approximately 244 units. Since then, the preliminary has run out. Preliminary for apartments run for approximately 3 years. Since that, the inception of this particular development, they've sought some additional development for preliminary now for 5 buildings equating to 130 lots, which brings their total to approximately 374 units. Based off density controls from our zoning ordinance, the base density requirement for this, they can go up to 444 units. So they're still below the maximum units allowed in this particular development. So you will essentially see 5 additional developments done along this rear portion that's kind of just grassland currently. Along the rear portion of what's currently Walden Run at Providence.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item passes. Thank you, Mr. Matthews. Ms. Grimshaw, can you give us the zoning committee report, please?
The zoning committee met on December 9th, 2015, and has the following recommendations. The Meadows 2 zoning, public hearing was held.
Okay. Although, have a motion, please?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Item passes.
Zoning ordinance amendment, a special exception. This ordinance amends Article 92, Board of Adjustment, Section 92.5, Powers and Duties, subsection 92.5.3, permitted uses as special exceptions by amending subsection 92.5.3.2, subsection 92.5.3.18, subsection 92.5.3.33, and subsection 92.5.3.36 to delete certified mailing language. The committee recommends that the Planning Commission set a public hearing for January 26.
Is there a motion to set a public hearing?
Second.
All those in favor of setting public hearing for January 26th?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing will be set for January 26th.
Zoning ordinance amendment, Village Business C6 addition. This ordinance amends Article 75, Alcoholic Beverage Establishment Regulations, Section 75.3, Permitted Establishments by Districts by amending subsection 75.3.1, Neighborhood Business C1 and Neighborhood Business C2 districts, and deleting subsection 75.3.7, Village Business C6 district, and amends Article 92, Board of Adjustment, Section 92.5, Powers and Duties, subsection 92.5.3, permitted uses as special exceptions by amending subsection 92.5.3.2 and subsection 92.5.3.28 to update language concerning Village Business C6 district. The committee recommends that the Planning Commission set a public hearing for January 26th.
Move to set a public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor of setting a public hearing for January 26th on the zoning ordinance amendment?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing is set for January 26th. Item number 5, the invocation and extension of bonds. Ms. Jordan?
Yes,
Southgate subdivision phase 1.
yes, Mr. Chair. Staff recommends invocation of this item.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item passes. Is there any additional business to come before this body? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned. Have a Merry Christmas.